So Woj is talking about how, I want to play this again. And it just, the idea of what LeBron wants moving forward, or at least what we speculate that he wants. He's talked about playing with his son. He's talked about just wanting his son in the league. Now we're talking about just wanting what's best for him, if that means going back to college or whatever. Here's Woj talking about the priority on what that is or is not.
And I think so for LeBron James and Bronny James, what Rich Paul said was, if organically somehow they ended up together, that would be great. But you look at the Lakers draft assets, number 17, that's a really important pick for the Lakers, probably to use in a big trade. You're not going to use it on Bronny James at 17. And then they have number 55. He could very well be gone by then. There are teams, I think certainly once you get into the second round, we'll see how he does in the pre-draft process. They may not be able to draft him. It's not free agency. Somebody else can take Bronny James. And I think those are the conversations Rich Paul's going to have with teams to try to figure out what might be the right spot, who might have interest at what spot in the draft. So I think that's the priority for them as a family. What's best for Bronny James? And if it ends up them together, well, that would be great. But
So with that in mind, can someone else take him before the Lakers at 17? Theoretically, yes. That's not going to happen. Can someone take him before the Lakers at 55?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's more possible to happen. But at the same time, basically what you're talking about is somebody wants to use a pick on that player with what comes along with that, the circus of having LeBron James's kid on your team, whether it's the Lakers or otherwise. That's a whole thing in and of itself. It's probably not going to impact your team in the short term. It's more of a developmental play. There's that to it. Here's the part, though, that I think is the most obvious and the most likely. Can have the best of both worlds. LeBron can. LeBron can stay with the team he wants with his kid that has a draft pick that I don't think somebody's going to jump the line to try to entice LeBron to come, because there's the idea, there's Philly, there's Golden State, there's the Knicks, there's a couple of others that I know you're going to get into. But it's this idea that, well, we'll do this and then we can squeeze the Lakers or LeBron to come in. It's not going to go like that, and they know that he can stay here, get his money, get the extension, be on a team that's, at worst competitive, and at best maybe gets better and makes a run for it. And, oh, by the way, there is a late second-round pick that the Lakers have in their back pocket that no one's going to jump up and down on and say, what have you done to your roster by taking that player at that spot? Everything he needs is right where he already is.
Well, I think there's a little bit of what have you done to your roster. Not that
at 55?
Not that the 55 pick, it's the concept of it. It's the concept of you're using your pick basically knowing that this is not an NBA player. Not yet, right?
But isn't that the case more often than not of most guys that are picked at 55?
But if his name's not Bronny James, is he going to be picked by the Los Angeles Lakers at 55? That's my only point that I'm saying.
I got you. No.
At the end of the day, if his name was, pick whatever last name that you want,
Rogers.
Lakers are not. It's Bronny Rogers. They're not taking him at 55.
I'd take that guy.
Sure.
But you're right. But okay. They take him anyway. Nobody's nose is out of joint. He's appeased or pleased or however you want to characterize it. He gets to check that box on. I played on the same team with my team. Maybe it's in the preseason. Maybe he gets a call up here. Okay. Whatever. It's not like, hey, he's going to play 30 minutes a night on the team. But it's not that.
But you do understand, and again, I go back to this. It's just the concept. The concept of you are a franchise that. How can things unravel? Let's just kind of play this out here for a second. What can happen to where LeBron, you think, says, I'm not signing with the Los Angeles Lakers? What can happen? Is it the Lakers had the number 55 pick and decided not to take Bronny James? Is that the trigger that unravels it?
I don't think so.
Lakers want 2 years, he wants 3 years. Is that the thing that unravels it?
Nope.
So the reason why I'm asking the question is, the concept, and I think this is what we were originally talking about. I'm not saying don't bring LeBron James back. Mm-hmm. I'm not. I'm telling you that, listen, he's still an unbelievable player. If Bron was averaging 12 points a game this year and 5 rebounds and 3 assists, okay, it's a different conversation. What are you doing? Look, he's clearly passed. It's over. What do you think you're signing him to, a 2-year deal or a 3-year deal? I just look at, and I don't think this is going to happen, but it can happen. If there's a team like the Golden State Warriors who it's kind of interesting what happened there at the NBA trade deadline. Some things started coming out about the...
Boy, isn't that fascinating? Like, who was the guy that flicked that snowball down the hill first? Because it matters so much. Did the Laker front office do it? Did the Golden State front office do it? Did Clutch do it? Because all three of those mean something wildly different.
I don't think he's leaving. I don't. But would a team that is the Golden State Warriors, or would a team like Philly, or would a team like New York, or would there be a team out there that says, you know what, we'll take our chances. This
Knicks
late second rounder is not that big of a deal to us. And we are a market and a franchise that if LeBron wore our jersey, it wouldn't be, I think him not playing for the Lakers would be a surprise anywhere. I really do believe that. Cleveland kind of go down the list.
I'm with you.
I don't know if teams would do that, but 55 is late. So you're asking to basically draft Bronny with other opportunities for other teams.
Yeah, I don't think that pick has a ton of value other than a way to strengthen something else. If you're who's a terrible team? Utah. Okay, let's just say then you're hoping to find a good player late in the draft and hope that you catch lightning in a bottle. I get it. But if you're a team that's mostly kind of going to be what you're going to be, and I think we know what the Lakers are going to be. They're going to have LeBron, they're going to have Anthony Davis, and then some other stuff, right? That's what that team's going to be. Does that 55th pick make you worse or better? I don't think it does either. So why not use it? And to your point of
he may go undrafted.
He might, and then it's so yeah. Bait is an interesting word to use it to try to entice him, but I don't think that that's going to change LeBron's mind. That's the part where the bait idea breaks down for me. I don't think that LeBron's like, okay, I want to come back to the Lakers. I want to play with Anthony Davis. I want to make another run here. I want to end my career in Los Angeles. Wait, the Warriors took Bronny? Okay, I'm going to go to the Warriors.
Can I tell you?
I don't think that's going to happen.
Play out a scenario that could change everything? A scenario that could change everything is if the Lakers, which I think both you and I agree we don't think is going to happen, it's Bronny does not get drafted by the Lakers. It's the Lakers standing firm on the type of deal they want to give LeBron James.
Okay.
It's the Lakers saying, we're not giving up 3 first-rounders for this guy that you want. It's basically, it's going to have to be the Lakers saying, no, Bron, no, Bron, no,
Is there
Bron.
a no?
And even with all that, I don't know if Bron's still like, well, I don't want to leave L.A.
Yeah.
But it's going to have to be that extreme to see Bron in another uniform.
Do you guys think that there's a point of no return? That there is a, look, I can't do that? Because I don't.
I thought 3 years would be a little. I thought 3 years to me.
Do you think that is that the genie bus? Rob Pelinka say, listen, we love everything. We can't do a third. If the choice is a third year or you leave, I guess you're leaving. Do you think they're going to do that?
I would do that as a front office.
That's not what I asked. Do you think?
So that's why I started it.
Okay.
They won't do that.
I don't think so either. I'm with you. I wouldn't do it either. We're on exactly the same thing.
4 years.
Would I do it? No. Would they say no? I don't think they would. For me, again, I don't even know if he
signed
want to play.
I don't even know what it is.
But
I don't even know though.
I don't know if there's a no on the Laker side of the equation. Now, whether there should be or not, slide that aside. In the what we expect to be done category, we can't draft him. Oh, we can't trade those picks. Oh, we can't trade that player. Oh, we can't give you that much money. We can't give you that many years. I don't think there's a no in the equation.
They already said there isn't a no. Just think about it. Think of all the reports that came out.
Eager.
Every single report that came out, there is nothing up to this point that's given
so
you any
either.
indication.
So we're just waiting
that
for
they're
LeBron.
Not
then
give him for.
We're just waiting. So it's
here.
literally just a. Do you want to be here or not? Because if the answer is you do, then take whatever you want. Is that what we're talking about?
I think there's a little bit more to wait for. I think he's also waiting of, okay, what are those picks? What are you doing with those picks? Who are we targeting? Who's going to be the next head coach?
What if the answer is, what would you like us to do with them?
I guarantee you that's
that's what I mean. And so at that point, it's, oh, okay, I get to decide what you're doing with the picks. I get to decide who you're going to target.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I agree with you. It's not going to be, well, we want to think about it. It's a, what do you want? And I really do feel that that's where it is. I think it's a incredibly bad idea. I think it's an incredibly risky idea. I read this sentence this morning, then we can go to Factor Cap. That this is basically what we've been talking about, and I read this on Yahoo this morning. I wish I could give the author the credit. I forgot to write his name down. Trade every available asset to appease James, mortgage the next decade potentially to recapture the Orlando bubble after the player's 40th birthday. It's basically what we're talking about. Doesn't that sound awful? Can I read it to you again?
Yeah.
Trade every available asset to appease James, mortgage the next decade to recapture the Orlando bubble after James's 40th birthday. That sounds awful.
Can I tell you the problem with the awful part? He's still freaking really good.
He's going to be on the All-NBA team, probably the second team.
Really good.
I get it all. And I want him back, but I feel like there has to be a stop on that train before it goes off the cliff, before you say yes to everything. That's what I want. I don't think you're going to get it. I think it's going to hit full steam ahead and go right off to appease him, to give him what he wants, to hope to recapture the Orlando bubble.
Appease everything.
To
Star effing driven town.
Hope that you get the thing that happened 5 years ago after his 40th birthday. That is a lot to ask of the greatest player of all time, or one of the greatest players of all time. Factor Cap coming up next is Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.